Alright all, welcome back to Junker Clunkers. We are on the back roads of New Hampshire, heading to my uncle's house. Gotta be honest, this is my first time going here, but he lives, I don't know, probably 15-20 minutes away from me. I know it's terrible that I've never been up here, but you know, if you guys follow me, you all understand that I have what's called agoraphobia, and well, unfortunately, I haven't traveled much until recently. I've been really pushing myself, but that's not the complete journey here. It's just a small portion. I'm currently in Brent's vehicle now. Once again, you guys follow me, you know that Brent was in driver's ed. Well, take a look at this picture. Yep, that's right, guys. Brent successfully completed his driver's ed on Thursday this week. And then, I'm sorry, on Wednesday evening, Wednesday night. And then on Thursday morning, he went up and got his license. Super, super, super proud of that boy. He didn't miss one class. He did everything he was supposed to. And I'm just very, very proud of him. You know, he's grown into a great young man. So, in conclusion to that part of it, you know, we've been working on Brent's Avalon, and unfortunately, we have no speedometer now, and we have no fuel gauge, which kind of stinks for him. Because, you know, he's a new driver. He doesn't know what speed feels like what. We don't need him getting a ticket. So, I'm on my way to Jeff's house, and we're going to show you hopefully a fix for this. I found it online on a couple of forums, and I think that we're going to be able to fix it. So, I'm going to try and bring you guys along a little bit, and yeah. We'll see you in a little bit. All right, guys, so I've arrived at my uncle's house, and we chit-chatted for a little bit, and now I'm in the process of taking, as you can tell, this out. So this stuff worked. All this stuff worked. It was a speedometer and that didn't work. And it just happens to see that these are two different plugs, and those were working, and then this one wasn't. So Shelby's out there playing with Duke and Boo Boo, and I'm gonna hand this off to Jeff, and we'll probably start taking it apart, go from there. All right, so we got the thing out and in pieces. There's a video online I'm gonna link to get to this point, but this is picking up because what the guy does is he brings it to a friend after taking it all apart, kind of like what I done, but he didn't show anything.
So what I gotta access is three solder points that relate to that little blue thing that's down inside of here.
Yeah, the new one. Where'd you put the new ones?
In a little bag over there.
Uh-oh.
So
yep.
I'm sure there's a certain direction that has to set.
Probably.
Which I really can't see. The writing is on this side. So do I see writing on any of those?
I don't. You got eyes that are better than mine.
I don't know. It looks like an Advil with prongs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Last thing I got at Halloween.
So we're gonna try and, well, you gonna take this all apart, you think?
Well, I was starting to think that maybe if I had tweezers on this thing and I extracted it while it's still built together, that might work, rather than tear this whole thing apart.
Yeah.
Because it looks pretty involved. I'd probably have to desolder. Actually, this would flop out of the way.
I think all they do is just you obviously solder up the back and pull it out.
If I had
Shelby, be a good girl.
I think if I had the right pliers,
You got some needles.
I could be having that thing right there.
Yeah.
And desolder this, pull it out, clean these up, insert the new one, resolder it. That's the plan.
All
Let's
right.
see how many hours this takes.
Let's get set up for this. We'll bring you guys back in a minute. Don't have a clue, but I mean that's what the video says. It's going to be impossible getting a good shot in here, so we'll just kind of do this.
I don't know if this is going to be an easy thing or not.
Well, you can't make it much worse than it was because it didn't work at all. Super zoom. So what he's doing is heating up the solder that holds that diode in, and hopefully it's going to release it, because according to all the forums, that's the problem.
So they took the liberty of bending the tabs over to hold it in place.
Oh
So
yeah.
even if I release the solder, the tabs are going to hold it.
So you
So I
have
need
to
to release each one at a time so that they're straight when I go to take them out. But you have to heat all three at the same time to get the thing to drop out, which is near impossible.
How would you get the
So
solder off?
That heats all three and the thing will pull out. But these are bent over and soldered into their position. So I
Makes
gotta get
sense.
up to a certain temperature.
He's got a fancy,
Oh, these are cool.
big old fancy
They're
device.
cheap Amazon. It's a high recommend.
Just controls the power, or?
And it's handy because the power level on it is very controllable, and you can do some pretty neat plastic welding with this. Comes with a few other tips to be able to do plastic spread.
Play
or
with.
whatever. But the last thing I cooked on it was plastic, so you got all kinds of smoke coming off there.
Don't breathe it in, guys.
Oh yeah, everybody needs a little bit of long chain molecule vitamin.
Yeah. Not so much. That's a pretty good angle right here.
Yeah, but I'm flopping around. My hands shake like a surgeon's.
That's great.
I'm gonna get that to see. This is a heat sink, and it almost instantly hardens up. So I gotta find something that. Problem melting the solder. A little more heat. We'll go 397 degrees.
I don't understand all these circuit board things. I just know they either work or they don't.
Not getting good conductivity between the end of this thing and what I'm trying to do.
Probably got plastic on it.
Probably got plastic on it.
You have any emery board or anything in here?
Yeah.
He's over there cleaning the tip up because it's got a bunch of plastic on it. Corn soda stuff. All right, so what are you doing?
So I'm using copper wire stranded. The finer gauge is better. It's about all I have. And we're wanting to absorb the solder off of the board by basically letting it run into this. So I'm going to heat this up. I'm going to try this anyway. I ended up just soldering that to that. And this is one hell of a heat sink. So I'll cut off some of this wire because all the heat is running up the wire that I'm trying to get in the... More power. 417 degrees, not Fahrenheit.
Celsius. Well, some of the viewers might enjoy that.
For our foreign friends.
We're the only country that uses Fahrenheit, right?
So that worked. That absorbed off quite a bit of the solder for that one. Are we the only country that uses that? I don't know. Let us know in the comments.
Let us know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe.
Be sure to.
Well, my saying is like, share, subscribe,
Or maybe.
or don't.
Or maybe. Or just do it. I need a clean end of this. Oop, don't melt the face of the wire. Yeah. Display.
Enhance.
Oh, it's gonna be so hot on my fingers.
Oh.
Well, it's not like, oh, it's warm today. It's no smoke coming off my hand. Oh, I'm so shaky and old.
Is it working?
Well, until it gets to that magic temperature, really nothing's happening.
Hi, Duke.
I think I gotta tin it just a touch to get that to want to stick. There.
Okay.
Oh, darn, that's just explosive.
Yeah, that was Duke. So he just took a piece of a tin, apparently, melted it on.
Well, I'm trying to get the heat to transfer and pull the solder. That one would just kind of work.
Might need it hotter, huh?
Yeah, am I getting the right one? Okay, yep.
You no longer have lights.
Well, we'll try this again.
There's one dog.
I don't solder very much anymore, just because my hands shake. It's terrible.
Oh, all I see is knuckles. Oh, Duke, what do you...
Duke, get the heck off!
Duke, what do you want? We're missing all the good footage over here. He wants to be on camera more. You on the right one?
How much is that up to? Oh, I need more heat. Less air, more heat. More heat.
More power!
Less air. Did I mention my eyes are too?
I smell plastic.
Yeah, it's that board. There it is.
Now, I want
We need to know what direction it is first.
what. How does it know what blows it? Is it like a fuse?
I don't know. You're telling me this is what's wrong with it.
Well, I don't know. That's what the forums say is wrong with it.
Okay, so this was sitting this way. That's, so writing side is this way,
That's those things.
that way, and I'm going to try and thread this back up. The nice thing about it, holy shit, chain reaction. Let's move that.
My bad. I'll pick those up in a moment.
Oh, you knocked the carburetor parts over. A lot of small parts in there. Oh boy.
You invited me. Just remember that.
Oh, we got get this just right.
I just needed a place to kneel. Oh no. What carburetor is that to?
Wheeler. Oh, that went right in.
Did it?
Yeah. So I'm going to take and give it just a little bend and use their trick to keeping it in there. So I'm just going to do one. It doesn't need all three because it's not going too fast. So one's bent, it can't fall out. Now we just have to solder it back in, right?
I think so.
I'm not going to use the air thing because I only want to do one at a time.
This is what I did. I made parts go everywhere that I need to clean up in a moment.
Really small parts.
Yeah,
in there, too.
I'm probably buying a new carburetor now. So Jeff's gonna go ahead and solder that up, and I'm gonna look at my bank account and see what I got. What'd you say that was?
It's for the four-wheeler.
Oh,
Not this one.
Which four-wheeler?
The old
The Can-Am?
Can-Am, yeah.
Oh, that's like a $90 carburetor. Okay.
Last one I bought was $27.
Oh,
It's on there. These are the old parts.
Oh, this is a
But
good
there
one.
was a couple parts I hadn't put on yet from the swap.
Well,
And
maybe
if
you
we
should
find those, we're all good.
Maybe you should have done that before I got here.
Well, I didn't know that you was gonna have a avalon
Well,
seizure.
I didn't mean to. Just know that I meant well.
Yeah, it's all right. I told you it's all right.
Well, no.
All right, let's put the zip zaps and the who's the dinks together here. This already has some of that schmag in it, so we'll kind of just solder it. So once we get our hands
Flux?
stop shaking from the flux capacitors.
Flux. Let's build one. I want to do a DeLorean sometime.
Oh, great. One's down. That's two.
All right, he got that soldered. My camera died. I was out of memory, so
It's these three right here.
they look good.
It looks good.
They're connected to the board.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go put it in and.
Oh, who knows? This probably ain't gonna work. But whatever.
What?
You telling me that's what's wrong with it?
I don't know. That's what the forums say.
Whatever.
All right, we'll bring you guys back in a minute. I'm sorry for the dinging, guys, but I got it back together somewhat. That way I can see if anything works. Let's see. I know it doesn't have a full tank. Now we have nothing. Jeff! Oh, wait. That turned on. The trip is working. It's not flashing, but we're not getting anything fuel-wise. So is there something else with the fuel?
So the trip wasn't working before?
So this was coming on a little bit, but it would flicker on and off.
Oh, well, so it's not flickering anymore.
Not right now, but it's also cold.
Oh, heat does this?
I guess. Well, yeah, it's a heat sink, isn't it?
I don't know what that thing was replacing.
It doesn't look like we have fuel, which I can look in and see what the hell's up with that. I guess we can. I guess I should move it and see if the speedometer works. Right? Alright, I'll bring you all back. I can't do all this with one hand. Alright, so we we messed up or found the problem. We don't know which one yet. But I put it all back together, went out for a ride, and I didn't have blinkers or anything. Jeff found the problem.
So this is a trace from here. It used to go across to here. So what it's done is it's smoked. It's cooked. It actually curled itself back up when it got hot and melted itself right out of the plastic. So there are other traces nearby it, but they look intact. So we're just trying to complete a circuit from here to here, but we need a surface that we can solder to. So what we can do is figure out where that trace goes and jumper from there to there instead. So this trace comes back to this point, and I can solder to this. Now let's look at the other side. We're just bridging this connection along a different way. So this is our trace, following it along the path. It's really easy to get kind of tripped out as to where. There's one right there. We can go to this one. So we're going to go from here to here. That's the ultimate goal. Was it that one? No, that's not it. This one. So we're going to go from here to here with a wire and jumper the two together to bypass this problem. And we don't want any shorts going on, so we'll clean this up so these wires aren't sticking out because they're still live. Right.
Leaf blow! Sorry for the noise, guys.
Yep.
Yep.
So we're just going to gauge out some wire and make a path from here to, was it there? Yeah, that one.
Yeah, well, you got it circled.
Well, I started circling another one. I just wanted to be sure I got the right one.
Oh.
So I'm going to crank up our soldering rig.
And Shelby has found a bed.
Clean off a little bit of wire made by our built-in wire stripper.
Yep.
A little bit of solder. Thing's still working on coming up to temperature, if I have the right one on. There. A little bit of solder on the end. What we're doing is called tinning. You pre-tin the end of the wire so that it's got a good coating of solder, and that makes it actually stick when you go to solder it. Otherwise, you just be fooling with it all day trying to get it to stick. Not a good honking amount on there. There, that's nice and shiny where it's silver on the end now instead of copper. That's tin. So we're going to solder it to that lead right there. By just basically heating this up. It's a little bit bigger of a blob, so it takes a second for it to heat in. There, we've soldered that in. It's stuck. Alright, so we're going to make a path around to the other one. So it's bare copper alloy there, so we need to tin it to make it stick. Get it to. There, we're tinned in. When the sides stop being a bubble and go spread out, then you know it's kind of tinned in. We're going to make this the right length and give it a little bit of stress relief so it doesn't get yanked. Just kind of give it little S curves. Trim it to length. Built in, that's a little long, so we're just trying to get it into the bubble. Now we want to tin the end of this. pretty well tinned on the end there. We're going to solder it into this one. Soldering iron, nice and hot. Boom. Stuck. Power off.
Now we gotta go put it back together and see if I can break something else.
You can seal that wire up a little bit. Now, so let's just explore the worst of what could happen here. So whatever caused this, we're not clear on. But we've bypassed from here to here by going from here to here, jumpering the traces.
But does it pick up anything from there to there?
So it's not contacting anywhere else on the trace that it cooked. Yeah, really unclear as to why that happened or when it happened.
That could have been the whole issue on all this.
Yeah, it really could have been.
For all I know. Well, let me go put it in. We'll find out.
All right.
No leaf blowing. Let's see. 3, 2, 1. Well, fuel gauge is still not working.
What do you got now?
Still got nothing.
Well, let's pull it back off and see. Or do we want to check fuses?
Might have to check fuses.
Where are they?
Oh wait, fuel gauge might be working.
It's down, not up now. Is your key on?
Yeah, it's running. The fuel gauge may be running. Maybe it is coming up, isn't it? I think fuel gauge might be working.
What's this plug?
That goes to a dimmer switch over here. So
Let's see if the speedo works. Then we can leak blow it.
all right, I'm gonna go take it for a quick run. Duke wants Shelby to get out. You could just wait a second, Duke. You just wait a second, okay? Let me talk to the people. All right, so we have temperature is working still. I didn't check the RPM. Yeah, RPM is still working. Blinkers are back to working. I was stupid on that. It wasn't working. You have to plug in your hazard, and I got this all tore apart because we're working on it. But fuel gauge seems to be working. So that trace that Jeff just fixed was the problem for that apparently the whole time. Speedometer still not working. So we fixed one thing, two things, because the odometer, or the tripometer, the odometer here, is not flashing anymore like it was. So now we got to figure out why there's no signal coming from the car. Probably the sensor up there. I got another one there. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out here in a second. I'll bring you back once we figure it all out, but at least we're getting somewhere now, right? All right, guys, I got the interior put back together. Shelby's hanging out in there. No, oh, you want to come out? The other ones go inside. All right, we come under the hood. We plugged in our other speed sensor and spun it, and we were getting odometer to work on the dash. So I'm wondering if the wiring I did, maybe there was a broken strand or something. So I had Jeff extend them, and he's gonna solder them on, and then we'll plug it in and take it for a rip. And hopefully that's it, because I'm out of ideas. What about you? You out of ideas? Well, I knew that plug was an issue, but they want $120 for that plug. And I thought that was ridiculous. That's why I deep pinned it and fixed it myself. But obviously I didn't fix it good enough. So he's going to solder that, and I'm not going to show that because it's just soldering, you know. And we'll bring you back once we get a conclusion. So updates. And Jeff was just prepping the wires down in there to
right there, yeah.
accept solder. And this piece pretty much just fell off in his hands. Got some green crusties in there, and he cleaned it up, and hopefully we're thinking that this is probably the wire, because we could get it to work if we had the other sensor out plugged in, like about where his hands are, and spinning it. But as soon as we plug it in, it wouldn't work. So we're thinking that maybe this was just barely pulling off. So he's soldering that. Shelby's getting all the squirrels. All the squirrels. We'll see what happens. Alright, all. I'm not going to show where my uncle lives. Not like anybody be able to find it. Still want to be respectful to his privacy. We are unfortunately heading out. And speedometer is not working, but the weirdest things are, so we have another one down here because I thought that the speedometer had shit the bed. So I asked the company to warranty it. So we have another one here. If we plug that into the sensor and spin it, it moves the gauge. But as soon as we plug it back in to the car, to the sensor that's connected to the car, it don't work. I'm wondering if there is a ground issue or a power issue. That's why we cut those wires back and redid. Hey, that's my cracker, Shelby. Those are my crackers. So we're heading out where he lives. He's about 20 minutes away from here, so I'm gonna head home, give Brent his car back, and I might go back to work for a couple hours. I don't know. I'm kind of tired, so we'll keep you guys updated. But we do have fuel now. That was one of our main things because he didn't have any fuel gauge. He had no idea. But we really got to get that speedometer working. Any suggestions? I mean, yeah, any suggestions at all? Leave them in the comments. I'm not sure if this is the end of the video. If it isn't, then you'll see me in a second. All right, guys. This is driving me a bit insane. So this is one of the others. So remember, we had two sensors, and there's one in the car currently. But Jeff and I talked a little bit last night, and what he said kind of made some sense, is that possibly this gear isn't connecting, isn't meshing with the gears in the transmission, so this isn't getting spun. It has a very small amount of play there. So where this is a Chinesium aftermarket, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lob off a little bit, and I'm going to make it so this sits down into the transmission just a little more. I'm a little nervous to do it because I don't want to break anything, but I bet you that's the problem. I really do. I wish I had the old one to verify length, but I don't. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to zip that off, probably jack up both tires on this thing, and then just run it and see if it works. We'll bring you all back once we get somewhere with it. All right, all. I got it rounded off. As you can see, there's no more edge. Flatten that down more. Let's put it in and see if it does anything. No, Putty. That's his oatmeal. Hi, Brent. Hi. All right, guys. We ground down that one. It's sitting over there. And I got it to sit down more in the transmission. Didn't change anything. So the other one we had, that's tight enough. The other sensor we had, I added a washer to the back side. And we just started getting movement out of the cluster speedometer. So we're gonna go for a ride. We're gonna see what it does. Hold on. Okay, so Brent's gonna get the speedometer app on his phone. Stay put, eh? We'll be right back. But this was just moving. There we go, it's moving. Sweet. we're gonna check and see how fast we're going as soon as he gets that up and going. Gotta wait for traffic. What? What?
Directional.
Oh, don't eat. Mr. I got my license 2 days ago, 3 days ago, was telling me how to drive, guys. You believe that? Put your directional on. Don't stop in traffic. That pedestrian wasn't 10 points. I'm just kidding. Don't run people over. Oh, there's Troy. Let us out now. Thank you and stuff. Here we go. What are we doing, Brent?
10, 9, 10, 20, 24, 25.
Says we're doing 25.
28, 29. I just want to let you know, like 2 days ago, it said I was going 70 when I was stopped, so 30.
30 when it says we're almost going 40.
Yep, so it's
So how accurate do you think that is, that GPS one?
fairly accurate. I'd say it's probably the same thing I was saying before.
I wonder if there's a way to recalibrate this. I'll have to look. I'll have to grab the computer and see if there's a way to recalibrate.
Yeah, that shows it's 5 above what you're actually going.
Well, you know what? At least you have a speedometer, I guess. It's working, and
That's right.
we're gonna take it for a quick cruise, and we'll bring you all back and give you a conclusion to this crappy mess. What a beautiful day out here, huh? Beautiful.
And it's only 48.
It's only 47 degrees. And
47 now.
it says it's 116. You know that's not right?
It's 12:31.
Yep. So that check engine light will turn off now after running a while, or I clear it, one or the other. We'll bring y'all back. All right, guys. So in conclusion, we've got everything working on the dash. On the way back from our ride, the traction light came off and the check engine light came off.
I found the right way.
So this thing's a little bit better for him to drive. He's under there doing his first ever oil change. I don't know how it's his first ever oil change working with me, but you getting it, boy?
Yep, it was the opposite. It was the way I thought it was supposed to go, but you said I was wrong.
Okay. You know, 17, Mr. Know-It-All. That's going to do it for the video. We appreciate everybody coming along and checking out and seeing what we can break / fix. Nah, I'm good. And we appreciate Jeff. Thank you very much for giving us a hand yesterday, spending some time. We're going to go back up there and do some four-wheeling. He said he's got some kind of cool trails up there. We're actually going to bring my four-wheeler up maybe next weekend and pull the carbs out and clean it up. So if that's something you guys would like to see, smash the thumbs up button. Maybe put a comment. Put brute force down if you want to see that. So we appreciate each and every one of you. And remember to always like, share, subscribe.
Or don't.
Or don't.